Welcome, students, to another video lecture with Mr. Canet. So this is our first lesson where we get to use that wonderful word of cross in our mathematical applications here. So I'm going to ask you to pause right now and copy down what you see, and then I can give you some explanation. Okay, welcome back, students. So this is lesson 5.7 in our textbook, and we are learning to solve proportions. So our goal in today, our essential question is how do we solve proportions using the skill of cross products? Yeah, that's right. We can use the word cross when we talk about this one. So cross products. Cross products are created when we have two ratios set equal to each other. So what symbol do we have to use this skill on? Yeah, you're right. We have to use this skill on the equals sign. So what I have here is an algebraic expression or example here. So I'm showing you how we're taking the numerator of the left side and we're multiplying it to the denominator of the right side. And that would be creating our first cross product, A times D. To create the second cross product, we multiply the numerator of the right side with the denominator of the left side, and that creates our cross product BC. And then notice how the equal sign comes straight down, because in math, nothing magically disappears. All right, well, that is the simple explanation of how to apply cross products. And now let's try that on some examples here. And I'm going to ask you to pause one more time and copy down what you see. Awesome. Welcome back, students. Okay, so I've gotten to the point where I think you understand you have to read the sentence in the problem. So I've kind of started skipping that step one, and I hope that's okay with y'all. So right now, what I want to stress here is we have to be fair. And what that skill is in this lesson is whatever we place on the numerator on the left side, we have to use the same unit on the right side on the numerator. And whatever unit we use on the denominator on the left side, we have to use the same unit on the denominator on the right side. So again, with all that unit mathematics we've learned here, we'll be really understanding of how to set this problem up. So I'm going to model just with units first from our word problem. So we have a roller coaster that has 20 minutes when we have 160 people are in line. And what we're trying to find out in this problem is what the rate would be or how long you would have to wait if you ended up with 220 people in the line. So again, it doesn't matter which unit we put on the top or the bottom, it just matters that we be fair and we do the same on the left as we do on the right. And again, I'm going to show this just with units set up first. So we have two ratios set equal to each other. And I saw minutes first, so I'm just going to put minutes on top on the left side. And that means I'd have to put minutes on top on the right side. And we're relating minutes for the number of people in the line. And that means we have to use the unit of people on the bottom over there as well. Okay, so now let's see how that helps us place our numbers. So we have in our problem, the first amount of minutes talked about is 20 minutes. And the 20 minutes aligns with 160 people. Ah, nice. Now on the right side, we do not know how many minutes it will take yet, but we do know we're trying to figure this out for 220 people. What do you think we place on the numerator on the location we do not have a number for? Yeah, that's the variable. So that's the unknown part of the problem. So we have to use a variable. I'm going to shift over to the right side here and do some math with just our numbers so it looks a little more normal for you. Okay, so we're applying our skill of cross products. And since this is an equal sign, it does not matter which cross product I place on the left or the right. It just matters that I'm going from one side's numerator to the other side's denominator. So I'm going to start with the 20, and we multiply the other side's denominator. And I always forget my multiples of 20 and 220. So we don't have to multiply with 0, but we'll do that. There we go. And then we end up with a wonderful number, 4,400, as our first cross product. The equal sign is going to come straight down because, again, nothing in math magically disappears. And it may actually help in this problem if you place a vertical line on your equal sign to show the left and the right side. Now we got to create our other cross product, and that comes from one side's numerator to the other side's denominator. What is 160 times x? It is 160x. Okay. How do we get that x by itself? What operation is invisible in between the 160 and the x? You're right, it's multiplication. So we have to use multiplication's inverse operation. And the backwards of multiplying is dividing. So we have to divide both sides by 160 so that helps us get the x by itself. What is 160 divided by 160? Yeah, that's the number 1. And what's 1 times x? That's just an x. The equal sign still coming straight down. And on this left side, we're going to do some reduction first. We can cross out those zeros. It looks like these numbers have a 4 in common as well. 16 divided by 4 is 4, and 440 divided by 4 is 110. I think we can simplify those even further. But at this point, we're going to end up with a decimal as our answer, so I'm just going to do the long division. Okay, so 4 goes into 1, 0 times. 4 goes into 11, 2 times without going over. 4 goes into 30, 7 times. We're going to have to add a 0 here. And 4 goes into 25 times. And that terminated. So we end up with 27.5. What unit should be on that 27.5? If I had done this problem with the units, dimensional analysis totally would have helped us know that. But we could also look at the original setup. The variable is next to the unit of minutes, so we know that 27.5 stands for the number of minutes if 220 people were in line. And we're going to write that out with a sentence. So, if 220 people were in line, it will take them 27.5 minutes to make it to the roller coaster. That's not too bad, right? So let's see another example. And this time we have some decimals. So again, we're creating our cross products, and that's going from one numerator to the other denominator. And I'm going to get my vertical line first to make sure I'm showing my left side and a right side. Equal sign comes straight down. So 12 times p. That's 12p. And then my other cross product is 4 times 7.2. Again, I do not remember my multiples of 7.2s, so we're going to have to do some math here. Okay, we got 28.8. Okay, now how do I get that 12 to leave my p alone? Or how do I get my 12 to become the number 1? We need to use its inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. And another way of saying that same thing is we have to use its multiplicative inverse. We're trying to get rid of the 12 off the p. And 12 divided by 12 is the number 1. And then we have to be fair. Whatever I do to the left side also has to be done to the Yeah, you said right side, didn't you? I got you trained well. You're doing great, students. You are awesome mathematicians. All right, so we're going to have to divide 28.8 by 12. And just quickly, I see those are multiples of 2. So I'm going to try and make my numbers a little smaller before this division we're going to do, just so it's easier. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 28.8 divided by 2 is 14.4. And that should make our division a little bit simpler. Again, I know it could be reduced farther, but sometimes students just like to jump to this division step anyways. 6 goes into 1, 0 times. 6 goes into 14, 2 times. Bring down our 4, and 6 goes into 24, 4 times. And it turns out P equals, in this problem, 2.4. Huh. So, we're learning how to use cross products or cross multiplication in order to solve for missing variables. And we're going to use this skill in our future lessons on figures, and I also can show in class when I get back on how to use this on rational expressions, which was what you're going to use it on in your algebra courses in the future. Well, that's all in today's lesson, students. I can't wait to see you soon.